Okay, so as promised, I'm going to give a little background on why I decided to start this Parenting Blind project. And it's mostly because when I found out I was pregnant, I scoured everywhere, like the internet. I asked the CNIB, which is Canadian National Institute for the Blind, that I could not find anything about being a blind parent. And I found that extremely discouraging because I know that blind people have children. I've met children of blind people. My husband worked with somebody whose mother was blind. Like, I know it happens. So I'm like, this is unreal. And then when I got to the hospital, it was it was off. Like, the nurses, they were very friendly and very like, they wanted to help, but they just had no idea how to help. Like, they just honestly were thinking from the perspective of they couldn't imagine being blind and being a parent because they themselves have never had any experience with it, and they just kind of froze and had no idea how to work with me. And it just really tainted the whole experience of having my son. It's having my son was the best thing ever, but just having the nurses and their complete lack of knowledge was just so discouraging. And because of that lack of knowledge, I was treated much differently than anyone without a vision problem would be. Like, my son had trouble breastfeeding at first, and he wasn't alive even 24 hours before they were saying, lactation consultants were saying, so when you go home and you can't breastfeed, you'll switch to formula, right? And I've had sighted parents tell me that these nurses at the particular hospital I went to were all, oh, don't worry, everything will be okay. It just takes a few days for the baby to latch on properly. There was no talk of formula. There was no talk of giving up breastfeeding. And it was simply just because they didn't know how to work with a blind person. And they didn't even ask if I had, changed diapers before, did I need a refresher, anything. They were just changing them. For the first day and a half, they would just come in and do stuff to the baby, like take temperature and whatever, and not tell me. The night nurse, the first night, refused to speak directly to me. She would only speak to my mother and my husband. They told her repeatedly to speak to me directly, and all she would say was, oh, I'm just talking to you so everyone knows what's going on. Like, they would not talk to me. And the next day, when I thought I'd be going home, we found out Alex was a bit jaundiced, so we had to stay another night. And because of the experiences with the nurses, I lost it. Like, I was hysterical. And, like, I was, crying uncontrolled. Like, it was awful. And, so we had to tell them, listen, just pretend that I'm not blind. Like, all you have to do is just maybe narrate what you're doing a little bit more. But, speak to me. Tell me what you're doing with my son. Just don't freak out because I can't see you. Like, and because of those experiences, I just never want another blind parent or family to have to go through what I did, because if I had nurses who knew what was going on and knew how to deal with a blind person or any disabled person, the experience of having my son would have been so much better. And it really just tainted the whole experience. And having your child should be one of the happiest times of your life, and it shouldn't stress you out, and it shouldn't make you feel less than, and it shouldn't discourage you the way that it discouraged me. And I just do not want anybody to have to deal with that. And this is why I've started this project, and I'm really hoping that it's a resource for blind parents and a helping guide and tool for any sighted professional working in the medical field or education field or anything to do with families and children, so that they know how to speak to a visually impaired person, so they know that we aren't mutants, that we're not from some other planet. We have, we do things just like you. We get dressed. We worry about money. We worry about life. We want what's best for our kids. And when we get treated like we don't know what we're doing, or like we're second-class citizens, it really takes away from that. And I really want to stress that I don't think that these people were doing this on purpose. It was just a lack of knowledge, and that's what I'm trying to fix. So share, enjoy, let others know that, like, if you've seen these videos, just pass the word along, Facebook, whatever. Just help me help everybody by, getting the word out there. And that's what these videos are. That's what my Twitter page at parenting_blind is about. It's just advocating, spreading awareness, and I hope to, do further more projects, doing presentations at hospitals and such like after I get more established. So that's the reason behind all of these videos and tweets and all that. And I hope you guys can, enjoy, come along for the ride as I learn how to be a parent and share with you guys. So thank you so much for listening. I know I can ramble. And as I said, just share the word, spread the word, and enjoy. Pause. Stop.